contrary to what people understand, Hamas does not want peace. I don't know why that is a complicated thing for people to realize. They do not want peace. They've never wanted peace. They are not the Palestinian Authority or Fatah. In fact, the Oslo Accords, Hamas was established in 1988. The Oslo Accords was reached in 1993. In 1988, when Hamas was established, or maybe it was 86, obviously in their charters, I'm sure everyone knows at this point, it calls for the complete eradication of the state of Israel from the river to the sea, no ands, ifs, ors, or buts. They're very, very clear about it. In 1993, when the Oslo Accords was happening, Hamas was not happy about that because they did not want a two-state solution. They didn't want that. So the first break of the actual 1993 Oslo Accords came in 1996. Who do you think it was broke the first peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis after the 1993 Oslo Accords? Hamas. It was in 1996. Why did they break the peace? Because they were in a fight with the Palestinian Authority, because the Palestinian Authority was moving towards peace with Israel. Hamas did not want that, so they went and sabotaged the 1993 Oslo Accords. They have been at this their entire existence. Literally, their whole entire existence. Hamas has been focused only on no peace, eradication of Israel. Obviously, this has kept on going on and on. They are not the Palestinian people. For sure not the West Bank people, and that's why when Hamas took control in 2005, what do you think they did? They went and murdered every single member of Fatah and the Palestinian Authority that was ruling and took over government of Gaza when the Israeli army left. They went and murdered their own people. That's what they did. Because they have been separated from the West Bank. They're two different organizations. The PA and Hamas are two different organizations because Hamas wants nothing to do with the PA. The PA obviously claims to want a two-state solution, even though they don't really, and that's a whole different discussion because they've been offered a two-state solution and a peace agreement literally 7 times. In 1967, right after the Six-Day War, they were literally offered everything, including East Jerusalem, back. That includes the Temple Mount, the whole 9 yards. They were offered back. And they said no peace, no negotiations, no recognition of the state of Israel. They refused to do any of those things right after the war. And then they attacked again in 1973. For those that aren't aware, Israel has been giving up peace for a land for peace their entire existence, literally. They have tried making peace every single decade. They've tried something else to make peace. Like straight. They have not been allowed to make peace, literally, because the Arabs will not concede to anything. Hamas will not concede to anything. The Palestinians will not concede to anything other than 100% return of all their land that they started a war about from 1967, which Israel actually offered to them right after 1967, and they declined. I'm 99% sure that's how it went down. But Israel will be the bad guy because, like, they're bombing Gaza right now because they're trying to get rid of evil terrorists. Like, they want to give back the Sinai to Egypt. And that's why they have peace with Egypt. Because Egypt was actually serious about having peace. Again, they're not best friends, but Egypt was serious about having peace. In 1980, Menachem Begin went and signed the peace treaty with the Egyptian prime minister, and there's been peace ever since. By the way, the Israeli blockade of Gaza, which is so intense and so terrible, you know who else also has the other blockade on Gaza, which is not Israeli, like actually the entire south border of Gaza? Egypt. The entire thing. They don't want any Palestinian ever entering their country. If you have to figure out a reason why, you could look to October 7th. They happen not to want terrorists coming into their country. It's a crazy concept, Egypt. I don't know why you don't want that, but I think you should totally let all the terrorists from Gaza and Hamas totally come into your country and just kill all your citizens. So with all, obviously, the talk of Israel being the blockade being so intense, the blockade is just as intense from Egypt, yet you will never hear a word about Egypt being the ones that are imposing just as strong contingencies and a blockade against the Palestinian people. If Gaza citizens and the Palestinians chose and said, you know something, at this point, we're not going to get what we want right now. We can't undo the past. Honestly, we made some really stupid fucking decisions. We are where we are, and we can't undo the past. And you know something? We are going to try for real peace, and we are going to start building our cities, focus on, creating communities and creating a environment and a infrastructure, schools, and good things that allow our communities to flourish. If that actually ever happened, first of all, they would never be in the situation they're in right now, which is a dire, shitty situation, which they will keep on blaming on Israel just forever. Like as if they had no ability to ever change that situation. They had no ability to ever make a smart decision at any point in their life to go and say, you know something, the money we just got from Israel, let's put this actually to good use. Instead of actually going and paying the suicide bombers in Israel and the people that kill Israelis, let's actually take the money we're giving these martyrs' families and let's actually go and put this to use to build a playground for our kids. Wouldn't that be a good idea? They have never ever done that. They have sat there in their misery and wallowed in their misery and seem intent on doing that forever as if something is going to change and keep on throwing terrorist attacks at Israel and blaming Israel. Hamas specifically has made it clear they're not even claiming to want peace. They're not, like, literally, they've never claimed to want peace at any point. They have destroyed the peace process specifically because they want to not make peace and want the eradication of the state of Israel.